I'm Mike Frank, and I've had the opportunity to know Zig longer than most. I go back with him to 1968, in the earliest days of a company called American Sales Masters. Back when Zig was one of the founders of it, ultimately became the MC on the program, and became one of the unknown speakers that became one of the best known speakers. I had the opportunity of spending a few days with him in Australia way back in 1970, and since that time have been able to book him for numerous presentations over the years for all kinds of organizations, public seminars, and individual clients. The biggest thing about Zig is that there's never been a speaker that I know, and I've known well over 1,000, who walked his talk more than anybody. He is the ultimate of preaching what he practices and practicing what he preaches. I've had many people ask me what's the difference between Zig and some of the other well-known speakers out there. And I've told them, well, I could come up with a lot of them, but let me just share it this way. Many speakers with name recognition literally tell the meeting planner who is assigned to them to take them off stage so they don't have to sign an autograph, have a picture taken, or shake a hand. Zig is just the opposite. He doesn't want to leave the room until the last person has been accommodated. There are some star speakers that will speak for any organization, no matter who they are. Zig was very careful that he would never speak for any organization that had anything to do with pornography, alcohol, or tobacco, and he lived by that all his life. He has. He was also one that wouldn't speak on weekends for the most part due to his church services and his he would refuse engagements on weekends because he had a Sunday school class to teach, and that became the most important thing to him. Most speakers, as Zig always said, have big egos, and entertainers and executives, but when the ego has them, it's a problem. Zig never let that ego get in his way. I remember years ago when I had a chance to book him for a land sales group. Now, a group of land salesmen back in those days in the 70s was a tough group, and they were an interesting group, to put it mildly. When the program was over, it was an all-day sales seminar. The executive came to me and he said, "Mike, I cannot believe that a speaker could speak to 70 men in land sales business all day and never use a cuss word." I said, well, he never does use one, off stage or on stage, and that's it. That's what you got. I've always appreciated Zig because of his loyalty to the seminar producers. Now, many people don't know the whole story, but the bottom line is that he got an opportunity about 15, 18 years ago to start working for a seminar producer, of which he was working with many others prior to that. But he gave all of us the opportunity to continue to work with him. And as a result, the loyalty was something that'll never be forgotten for those of us who had a chance to work with him in the 60s, 70s, 80s, and 90s. Zig is a perfect example, though, of another situation. We've always heard about behind every great person, there's a spouse that can make a big difference. And I've had that opportunity of knowing Gene for many, many years. And I know that relationship between the two of them is about as solid as any I've ever seen. Zig's new book, Born to Win, has got to be a winner. It's going to be as big a deal as many of his previous ones. And I go back to the first one that most of you probably never knew, because it was entitled Biscuits, Fleas, and Pump Handles, eventually becoming See You at the Top. Born to Win will be his greatest, probably, and I hope to see the fruits of that.